And I want to actually use this as a hook for a question that our good friend Scott Belsky also sent in, which is around sort of this idea of product sense and product and sort of product like an innate sense and taste of product development, and whether it's something that can be developed or whether they're just innate tendencies that people are almost born with.
Yeah. So, well, look. First of all, you're not born with these tendencies. You might have surroundings, and environments that you're in to get acclimated to design sense and that stuff. That's just picking up an eye for that stuff, just like picking up an eye for fashion or what good UI looks like or customer journey looks like. All of those things can be learned. It's just a matter of immersing yourself in that. So, but then there's the process of doing it. So there's one, which is the outcome and a taste, if you have taste. And then the other one is the process. So Steve was very good at having taste, right? But that was learned. If you remember, anyone knows the first Apple logo, that first Apple logo was Newton, I think, in the tree, the apple tree falling on his head, the whole thing. It was very complicated. Steve didn't have taste at that point, at least for logos. And then he hired the right people who showed him it. And then they had discussions, and he got to the eye of having that eye for logos and then other things, whether that was marketing and all that other stuff. So he learned that stuff just as much as that stuff as much as any one of you guys can as well. But then it's holding that opinion-based decision. So you have in the book, there's opinion. We have a chapter called Opinion versus Data-Driven Decisions. And you have to know the difference when it comes to what are really data-driven decisions, like something like finance or what have you, quality. And there's another one, which is opinion-based decisions, which could be around design, a V1 of a product before there's customer feedback, those kinds of things. You have to have an opinion-making decision leader. And that usually is the CEO or a small set of people around the CEO that the CEO gives power to, that says you are responsible for those opinion-based decisions and make sure that that happens. Because what we have is in a lot of companies, there are people try to either go to consensus around opinion-based decisions because they don't hold a good enough opinion themselves or they don't trust it enough. And so they do all kinds of crazy stuff and you get this mishmash of stuff. Or it's data-driven decision, which is all driven by, kind of consensus. Oh, what does everybody else want to do? Not what is the right thing. Usually that's a whole mix of things. What's easy to do, what doesn't take too much time, money, because all of you have finance or engineering or other people getting in. It's that creative tension from the opinion-based decision and the other people saying, no, we can't do that. That's where the amazement and that creative tension delivers something that's awesome, because it's not just taste and just emotional only. There's the rational component, but those come together in a certain way that's magic without losing the vision of what the product's supposed to be, right? Even if it's right or wrong at the end, that's a different thing, but you got to have that all the way through, and you can't be second guessing yourself all the time.